What's going on, everybody? This is Big Daddy Cool. Steve Pena here with you for Unpopular Reviews. This is the Summerslam post-show show. We're going to talk about all the results, all the action, lots to discuss. As usual, lots of surprises. The tagline was, you'll never see it coming, and there was a lot of stuff that you didn't see coming. So we're going to talk about that on the other side of the intro. Guys, welcome again. Unpopular Review starts in just a couple moments. What's going on, everybody? This is Big Daddy Cool here with you, Steve Pena, for Unpopular Reviews, powered by Yup, I Like Wrestling. Joining me here tonight on the SummerSlam post show is Stefan Duviella. Stefan, how are you tonight, sir?
I am beside myself. I feel like this. I will save my thoughts for later. I'm kind of bewildered at the moment. I'm still trying to collect myself from an eventful SummerSlam, I would say.
Absolutely. There was a lot to discuss, a lot of action all over the place. Going into tonight, we had a lot of drama between Asuka, Bayley, Sasha. To me, Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton was going to be good in the ring, but I wasn't that hyped about it because I just felt the build wasn't there. Same thing with the Fiend and Braun, but and it just I wasn't that excited, and I think you kind of mentioned this before we started here, was there was not a lot of it didn't seem like the usual excitement a regular SummerSlam gets you, right? Yep. But I felt the Thunderdome helped, right? I felt Thunderdome made things special for this. What were your thoughts on that?
I like the concept of the Thunderdome. I think that WWE has done something creatively that no other company right now is doing, and in terms of just being innovative, they are the top innovators, in terms of professional wrestling. And to create an atmosphere where you're getting WrestleMania type entrances and you're bringing the fans into the arena to get that atmosphere back that they're missing so much and that we're missing, because obviously we love spending thousands of dollars and being there in the ring, being there ringside rather, and in the seats. So I feel like it was really great. It added atmosphere to tonight. So I really appreciated WWE doing that, to be honest. And plus Katrina was there, so that was pretty awesome. Seeing her in the stands tonight, that was pretty cool.
That's right. She was in the stands, and you could easily see her. I'm going to see if I can upload that picture later on. We got some people here in the chat. What's up, Denise? How's it going?
Hey, Denise.
Elvis is here. What's up, Elvis? Glad to be back. I was on vacation for a week, but I'm glad to be back with the crew. And Ricky, what's going on? An underwhelming pay-per-view. We're going to get into that and everybody's thoughts. April, what's up?
What's up, tag team partner?
So yeah, before we jump into our thoughts on the pay-per-view and then start off with pretty much I think would be the headline of this, and we've already seen Denise already mentioning it. The big dog is back. Roman Reigns has returned from his long and lengthy hiatus. But again, before we jump into that, you're watching Unpopular Reviews powered by Yup, I Like Wrestling. Please make sure you like, love, share, and subscribe to Unpopular Reviews on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all these social media platforms that you see around us. If it's your first time watching the show, please make sure that you stay tuned, chit chat. We got differing opinions, and that's what makes the show great. So we offer your engagement. We welcome it. We want to see what you thought about tonight's show, and please feel free to jump in. So let's talk about the main event let's talk about Roman Reigns coming back. Braun and the Fiend tear it down. No, what was it? A false count anywhere match, and they went all over the place as much as I guess they could. Not really all over the Amway Center, but as much as they could around the arena. And the finishes, and you're going to get spoilers here, guys. This is a results show. Hello. Braun takes a box cutter, starts cutting up the ring, and he exposes the mat, the plywood underneath the mat, and that ends up backfiring on him. And he gets Uranaged by the Fiend onto the plywood. He gets 2 Sister Abigails, and good night, nurse. It's over for him. 1, 2, 3, clean finish. Before we get into Reigns, what did you think of the match? What did you think of this?
I knew that this being a blow-off match and, this being kind of the match that Bray Wyatt needed to win the Universal Championship back, it was going to be a hellacious match. And obviously, Braun Strowman himself said it, every time a superstar comes in contact with the Fiend, they change. And it was good to see Braun go back to being the monster among men instead of the softy among men. And I felt like it was a really good return to what he's good at, and that's just being a berserker. And we saw shades of it on Friday night. And tonight was no different, obviously, with the hard-hitting match that they had. I was really, really impressed by this match, and it kept my attention the whole time. And I loved the finish. I felt like that was a great way to finish a match and make Braun, honestly not look like an idiot, and have Bray look like, all right, well, he's just a wily person in the ring and just took advantage of a momentous situation. You know what I mean? So I really, truly enjoyed the main event. I felt like it was a fitting main event for SummerSlam.
Yep, I thought it was a really good one. It was different in the fact that it was different. This is the third time you see these guys, Bray Wyatt and
The Fiend.
Strowman in the match, but you get the Fiend. That's the unique part about it.
Exactly.
And I felt they did a good job of switching it up heading into SummerSlam to keep it fresh, since you've seen this for 3 months. And I thought going in, the Fiend had to win because Braun's pretty stale. Everybody said that his time was like a year and a half ago, 18 months ago, and he missed the boat, and he's cold. So the Fiend is the guy that should have been the champion. He should have never lost to Goldberg. And here you got it. It seemed the virtual fans in the audience seemed like they were very excited about it. I'd like to see what our chat thought about it, if they thought that was exciting to them, not exciting, expected, not expected. I'd like to see that in the comments. But afterwards, after the match, you get this wild guy jumping in. He runs in and he spears the Fiend. And it's none other than Roman Reigns himself. The dude is looking lean. He's looking cut. He is wearing a shirt that says "Wreck everyone and leave," and that is what the man did. Roman Reigns is back. The questions that I'm seeing in the chat, Ricky asked, is this a heel Reigns? Let me ask you that, John. What do you think?
For me, because obviously, like we were talking about this before the show started, I was watching with my 2 friends, and both Patrick and my friend Anthony, we all were just like, oh man, this is like a different level of Roman Reigns. Even the things he was saying, it's not things that you would be familiar with the Roman Reigns saying. So is this a heel turn? I think we have to wait till Friday, because I don't want to fantasy book and then get to Friday and it's just a face Roman Reigns, just an enraged Roman Reigns, because we've seen Roman Reigns enraged. But I want this to be where Roman Reigns turns heel. I want this to be where I sit on the bench because I have a medical condition that's keeping me from performing, and you pass me over and give the belt to somebody who's undeserving. That's why he destroyed the Fiend. That's why he destroyed Braun Strowman. So I think the storyline in terms of a heel storyline is there, and it's for WWE to actually push it, because at this point, this match, I don't really know who the face was in this match. Who would you say, Steven, was the face in this match?
I think the face was Braun, but I want to say, so here's the difference, right? Is like the fan favorite, everybody loves the Fiend.
Mm-hmm.
But he's technically a heel, right? He's a heel for all he does. But I think that's what they were trying to do, is heal up Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
With what he was doing to Alexa. And Alexa didn't factor in this match at all. A lot of people were looking to see if she would end up costing Braun the match as Sister Abigail, turned into Sister Abigail. None of that stuff happened. So, that was all for nothing, just to kind of make Braun look like a bad guy. And none of that really happened. So I think, to your point, I think Reigns looked strong. I want to see badass Roman Reigns, and you got badass Roman Reigns tonight.
We did.
You saw him go. Not only did he spear, I failed to mention this, not only did he spear the Fiend, but he also speared
Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman, thank you.
You got
I don't know if I'm that's me in the background, I hear it. But
yeah, that's definitely you. Lower that, Pat.
So he spears Strowman, and then he says, I made you the monster. I'll tell you when you're done.
Said, you're not the monster. You're not a monster unless I'm here.
That's right. There you go.
That was a line that literally had my mouth drop, because that's why when we're talking about Roman Reigns and we've seen Roman go kind of berserk. We've seen him go berserk on Triple H. We've seen him go berserk on Sheamus and Vince McMahon even. But to go to the extent where you say, you're not a monster unless I'm here, like, that was, Steven, I don't know how you felt about this moment, but for me, it was like a jaw drop moment. It was like, one, like you said, he's looking lean. Hey, C, how are you? You're looking lean. You're back. You spear the Fiend, and then not only that, you take a chair and you wreck Braun Strowman's whole entire day.
Yep.
You just lost your Universal Championship. My bet would be for Braun Strowman to mosey onto the back, cool off in catering, and then go and wreck something, But to get destroyed completely by Roman Reigns and have the returning Roman Reigns look like the most dominant thing on the pay-per-view. From start to finish, nobody looks stronger tonight than Roman Reigns. I think this is where you strike the fire, and this is where you actually say, all right, we need to turn him heel. Because that was a heel move, to be completely honest. That was I don't know if you remember a couple of pay-per-views ago where Roman Reigns won the World Championship. It was at a pay-per-view before Seth Rollins was out, and Seth came back and ambushed Roman from behind. The fans were steadily behind Seth, but he was still a heel, and it worked. You know what I mean? So I feel like this would work for Roman Reigns as well. So I'm excited to see Friday Night SmackDown, to be honest. I really am.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I mean, again, everybody was saying we needed Roman. WWE needed a shot of adrenaline before this Thunderdome thing happened, and you got Thunderdome, and that spiked interest. It spiked the rating. They were over 2 million on Sunday night, and then now you got Roman Reigns looking like a real badass, and I hope he stays as this badass, not this tater tots swilling jokey guy. I feel like he if he can be this badass, he's gonna be unstoppable. And I want to see him and Drew McIntyre at the top of WWE for years to come. I want them to be the new era of this post-coronavirus or coronavirus era of WWE. I say repackage Reigns. Why would
you repackage Reigns? So Reigns just came out tonight. If you were doing a repackage to Reigns tonight looked like he left behind all the Shield brother bull crap, because obviously Seth's not doing that. He's the Monday Night Messiah. John Moxley is doing this thing in AEW. Roman was the only one left behind. I think this was a soft repackage. I think he's already been repackaged. And like to Steven's point, you come back as the badass Roman Reigns and you destroy everyone at the end of the match. Challenger, new Universal Champion, former Universal Champion, and you look like the most dominant thing in WWE right now. And that's a hell of a comeback for Roman Reigns in terms of that. So I don't understand why, Ricky, you'd say repackage. I think this is one of your bad booking decisions. You're a horrible general manager.
Yeah, and I don't understand what you would repackage him as. Like,
you can't.
Doink the Clown? I don't know. What do you repackage him as?
It's bad booking. I think some people are just so used to bad booking on their shows that they are just going to try to carry that over to this show, which is actually a good show. So thank you, Steven, for being an utmost professional and actually being great at your job, unlike some people that just came and commented.
I try. Elvis says Otis should have cashed in tonight. Where does that cash in happen, Elvis? Roman is a bigger surprise than Otis cashing in. And I don't think anybody wants to see Otis cash in on the Fiend and beat the Fiend, or take a real quick L to the Fiend. That ain't nothing to write home about.
My question, like your question, it's who does he cash in on that's believable? Otis is not, to be honest, WWE worked their way into a corner again in terms of the Money in the Bank briefcase, because Otis is not a believable champion. I'm sorry to say it. Just like Mandy Rose wasn't believable to beat Sonya Deville tonight, but we're going to get to that later. The fact of the matter is, if you would have cashed in tonight, what that would have done, he would have instantly lost. 1, 2, 3. That would have been it.
Agreed.
The Fiend would have mandible clawed him, or Roman Reigns would have speared him. Without a doubt.
A doubt. So let me ask you this before we move on to the next piece of news, and we're going to go all over the place on on this SummerSlam Sunday. Oh, look who's joined us! It's executive consultant Chris Harris. Chris, welcome to the SummerSlam post show. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing quite well, and I just came to announce who is the winner of the next UPR challenge thing for the championship.
That's right. Go ahead. So just to kind of bring everybody to speed, is the UPR hosts, we all give our predictions, and after every pay-per-view, we become the UPR champion, and there's a lot of bragging rights. So I know it wasn't me, because I started out the night like 0-3.
I lost to Patrick, so I'm out.
Who is the new UPR champion? Who got all the predictions right?
The person, and with a perfect score, I might add. A perfect score. They got no match wrong. I'm surprised.
Wow. The
person who won is your first ever 2-time UPR world champion.
Oh, no.
Me.
Oh, Jesus.
I won. Once again,
this is why we got you here.
The man is your new UPR World Heavyweight Championship. Finally, that title has some prestige. Finally, everybody's happy. You're happy. Stefan's happy. The fans are happy.
I'm not happy.
Everybody's happy.
I think Matt Riddle
Stop lying to yourself.
That's what we were discussing before the show started. We were discussing not getting the answers. That's what we were discussing. Totally discussing that.
Yeah. Are you saying good night to Matt Riddle?
Get out of my shot.
Everybody's just putting themselves over.
Matt's happy. Go ahead, Matt. Tell me you're happy I won.
I'm so
Matt, did you tell him all the answers? Did you tell him all the answers?
Matt didn't tell me no answers. I won. I got nothing
thing?
wrong. Yes, I got nothing wrong. So you tell everybody, you tell all the Hammer niggers you're happy that I won.
Hi, what's up, Luca?
He's right this week, but he'll be wrong next week.
You're going to lose to King Corbin.
Dude, I'm not going to lose to King Corbin.
You're going to lose to King Corbin.
This is so wrong. How dare you say this guy? This guy can put you to sleep.
Tell him you're happy. Tell him you're happy I won. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, so happy.
That's right. Lose some enthusiasm next time. Show your mom how it's done. Show your mom how it's done. Just tell them you're happy I won.
I'm happy.
That's what I'm talking about. She's a star. She's a star in training. Simone, what? All right.
Why am I still watching this?
We've got a recap to get to.
Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead and do it. I'll do my thing. I just wanted to make the announcement that I won. I want everybody to congratulate me.
No one's going to congratulate you.
Sorry.
Chris, what did you think? What did you think of this show?
I thought it was a good SummerSlam. I thought the virtual fans were a little bit more crisp. Shout out to UPR's Katrina, who returns tomorrow with Steven on Raw. And she was on for one of the main events. It was a good show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So thumbs up for me.
Did they kick you out of the house?
No, I'm going to the guest house. That's the main house.
That's where they put the help.
That's where we watch. Hey, shout out to WWE's pay-per-view watch along, because a few of your UPR hosts was on it.
Oh, get out of here! Really?
Yeah. Matt Riddle was the guest on it, and he put us on. He put us over and everything like that. So, shout out to that. If you get a chance to watch,
did we get a shout out for UPR at all?
We should have, but
just fucking Christ.
Yeah, but honestly, it was still a good time. So if you want to watch the main event between Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman again, for the watch along part, Matt Riddle was on, and he had us on with him, and it was really a good time. It was a lot of fun.
Good.
And one thing that I want to say before I go, hey, surprise at night goes to Roman Reigns coming back. I was not expecting him back at all. It was a complete shock to me. I didn't see him come back till next year. I would say that's one of the biggest surprises since John Cena coming out of Royal Rumble 2018. It was that big.
Are you happy to see him back?
I am happy to see him back. He's a major star. I think him coming back brings WWE's stock up a little. You know, and some people will disagree because you have a lot of Roman haters, but you can't tell me that wasn't that's a star coming back.
That was exciting.
That is huge.
It was exciting.
Yeah, it was.
I'm not a Roman fan, but that was hot, and especially when he said to Braun. Braun.
And you can't tell me you didn't expect to see him. So shout out to him.
Awesome, very good.
All right, so y'all have a good show. Enjoy. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for the congratulations, you hater. And
I didn't congratulate you.
Did anybody say
I know, because you're hating.
Nobody. I don't think anybody said congratulations.
Congratulations.
All right.
Except for Patrick, but that's the Patrick.
Oh, Chris, hold up. I'm gonna say congratulations right now.
Let me talk.
He's gonna kick me off.
That's right. I'm gonna kick you out.
Thank you so much for
That's
doing that.
I
The
don't
ego
need
in
him.
this room was inflated by 10,000.
I know, right? We don't need that
just
type
so
of energy
terrible.
in here. We were having
really
such
didn't, man. It was a great show.
We were rolling, and then this guy ended up coming in. All right, let's talk. What do you want to talk about next? Do we want to talk about Seth and Dominic? Do we want to talk about Asuka, the Golden Role Models?
I want to talk about Asuka and the Golden Role Models. I want to talk about those matches back to back. I feel like we have to discuss the fuckery that is the first and second matches with Asuka versus the Golden Role Models. So, if you please lead me into this conversation.
All right, very good. Let's start there. First, let's cut a quick promo for our social media platforms, and then we'll be right back and talking about Asuka and the Golden Role Models and all that stuff right after this quick, kind of like 30-second commercial.
Thank you for watching this edition of the Unpopular Review. If you like what you're watching, please subscribe to us on our social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at UPRYEPILW. Also, while you're at it, subscribe to our friends at Yep I Like Wrestling on the same social medias at YEPILW. Yep.
That's right, guys. Welcome back. You're watching Unpopular Reviews, powered by Yep I Like Wrestling. I am Big Daddy Cool, and this is Stefan Duviella. We are here talking about SummerSlam. We are recapping all of the action that happened tonight. We just wrapped up discussing The Fiend, Braun Strowman, and the return of Roman Reigns. We're about to get into Asuka versus Bayley and Asuka versus Sasha. Please make sure you're throwing your ideas, your comments, your feelings all up in the comments. We want to hear from you. I'm going to throw some questions up when I see them as they relate to what we're talking about. And please make sure you're liking, loving, sharing all this, subscribing if you're on YouTube to our show, so that way you can help us out and get the word out. And share the feed. Share the feed with all your wrestling friends right now, so that way they can come in, chat it up with us about what happened on SummerSlam. So we're going to get in. Before we get into Asuka, I was just real quick talking about the Thunderdome crowd. I didn't know that there was going to be so many celebrities joining the audience. On I don't know if you caught this, Steph, but on Thursday, Ted from Ted the Bear was in the audience.
Gosh.
And then tonight, I don't know if you caught this as well, but tonight, Pikachu.
I love that Pikachu made a guest appearance in the Thunderdome. I think that was a perfect match. It's a match made in heaven. I feel like he had to come and represent for all the Thunder Pokemon out there. So shout out to Pikachu.
Pikachu heard that Roman was coming back, and he's all like, "I got to be there live." SummerSlam.
Exactly.
You know, the last time Pikachu was live in at SummerSlam was when SummerSlam was at the Barclays Center. Shout out to New York.
Shout out to New York.
Also, this guy got on the air that very quickly during the Sasha and Asuka match. Fire Velveteen Dream.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. That
That
guy
is
was
awesome. That guy is ballsy, if nothing else. I mean, to get on WWE TV and to get across that message without Kevin Dunn or Vince McMahon seeing you, or Triple H or whoever's in charge of the show seeing you, I feel like that's just balls on another level. That was Roman Reigns levels of balls, because that was just a spear out of nowhere. Because you battled in it for a good minute.
Yes, let me catch up with some of these comments here. We got Elvis. I believe The Miz is behind Retribution. Last Friday, he told Morrison he was on the phone with Maurice. And this Friday, he ran to the ring with as Retribution was leaving. That's right. I don't know. That's something you should have asked the SmackDown host. Why is it that this guy keeps disappearing or not there, showing up late? Hey, Tom Stevens here. Be a champ like Drew McIntyre and don't miss UPR strike. Very good. I don't know if Ricky is paying this guy, Tom Weston, or if
Ricky is definitely paying him. You know, he's on Ricky's payroll. Ricky pays people to actually pay attention to what he says. It's terrible.
Did you see Katrina in the audience? Yep. I have a picture of it. I'll have it up on tomorrow's Raw show, and we'll get Katrina's thoughts. Moment. We'll get Katrina's thoughts on it tomorrow. So it's George, I see you. I'm gonna get you in a couple minutes. Just hold tight, buddy. Let's see, Steph. I was the teddy bear on Friday on SmackDown. Were you really?
I really believe that you were. I really believe that you were, man. You're the type to put on a teddy bear suit.
Very good. So let's talk about Asuka. Let's go in chronological order as far as this was concerned. So the show started off with Asuka versus Bayley. Both matches, Asuka, all three of these ladies, I mean, they're professional talents. They know what they're doing. Asuka doing double duty tonight, and both matches were pretty good. In the middle of the match, Asuka with Bayley, she kicks out of the belly to Bayley. Is it the belly to Bayley or the Bayley to belly?
Bayley to belly. Bayley to belly. Yeah, Bayley to belly.
That's what I thought,
yeah,
I don't know.
She doesn't use it anymore. It's a transitional move at this point, so it's like it doesn't really matter anymore.
So what's her finishing move? The elbow off the top?
I don't even know what her finish is. Patrick, what is Bayley's in the finish?
I'm not too sure.
He's not too sure either. He's a super Bayley mark.
I think it's the Bayley to belly.
It's the Bayley to belly. No, I mean it's not the. It's the elbow off top, right? It's the elbow off top. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe she's got two of them.
Yeah.
What? You're the guys that play 2K19, so you guys should know what the finishing move is.
All right, but
nobody plays with Bayley though.
People are playing 2K19, so the finish is quite different from the 2K19 game to what it could have been for 2K21 this year, because she changed character, I believe, in this year, 2020. So it would have been this 2021 would have been the game that her finish changed. So it's still belly to belly, and nobody. You're right. Nobody, absolutely nobody. In our league, I won't say at all in the world, but nobody in our league actually uses Bayley. Not yet.
Not yet. There's not that much use.
There's hope. There's real hope.
We'll see if we can put in a good word with the GM.
The GM doesn't listen. He's hard-headed.
So really, Sasha is at ringside, and there's nothing going on in this match that Sasha does. And then ultimately at the end, she does interfere. She does kind of pop up on the apron and gets hit by Asuka, and then Bayley subsequently schoolboys Asuka and gets the pin 1, 2, 3. Bayley is your reigning and defending SmackDown Women's Champion. So you go into that knowing that. What were your thoughts on the Bayley and Asuka match? Let's start.
Okay, so in terms of in-ring content, they are, like you said before, two amazing professional wrestlers. Like Asuka, decorated veteran, Bayley, amazing in her own right. For them to have a match and for the finish to be a fucking roll up, like I hate the concept of a roll up. So she did it twice. She rolled Asuka up, Asuka kicked out, and then Asuka hit a hip attack, hit Sasha Banks, and then she rolls her up again from the second rope, and that was enough to do the match. This is where I started drinking more. I had like one beer, and then I after that match, I just had like two more. I was like, yeah, man, just get me two more beers, because it was bullshit. I felt like it was a way to protect Bayley, but at the same time, I understood it was pushing forward that feud with Sasha and Bayley, that pending feud between those two. So it made sense. It just I was upset because I felt like you should have, if you're going to elevate Asuka back to her dominance and her former dominance, let her win both those belts. You know what I mean? And I felt like that was something that WWE really needed to push the gas on. But obviously you want to, measure how people will react to a feud without a title on the line. So I guess Sasha's gonna go after Bayley sooner or later. So it's one of those things. But it fell flat for me, to say the least. The match fell flat as soon as Bayley won. As soon as Bayley won, I looked over at Patrick. Patrick was laughing. That's where I went that was his first win and my first loss, because I went 5-0 yesterday for NXT. But tonight it was just complete freaking opposite. So I hated the finish, to say the least.
Yeah, I don't even know how I ended up with the NXT picks, but there is some stuff that I want to talk to you about NXT, but we'll get to that at the end of the show.
Let's do it.
So then that leads up to the Asuka versus Sasha match later on, and Bayley comes to ringside with Sasha. And so practically almost the same exact finish, only instead of getting in the way. So in the first match, Sasha got onto the apron and took a hit from Asuka, and then that caused Asuka to be distracted to get rolled up. Here, almost the same setup. Bayley doesn't move out. She moves out of the way, so doesn't take the hit, and she ends up not distracting Asuka, and Asuka then slaps on the Asuka lock, and I give Sasha a bunch of credit, a bunch of points for this, because as she's got it locked on, she's screaming, "Bayley, Bayley!" Yeah, she was hilarious.
To be honest, the thing I thought about this match, because obviously Sasha doesn't get enough credit, I feel, for as amazing as she is, and she's definitely an amazing performer, and that there was new things in both matches from these women's arsenals, things that we haven't seen from Asuka. Especially Asuka did some in the first match she had with Bayley. She had this move that she jumped to the outside and DDT'd Bayley straight on her face, and that was an amazing move. And you guys, if you haven't seen that match, please go back and watch. It was a really great match. But obviously in this match the stakes were raised, because what is Bayley gonna do when it's Sasha in trouble? And as you said, she moved out of the way, and once again Asuka locked in, and I feel like Asuka locked in about twice or three times during the match, and then finally Sasha Banks taps out, and you could see after the match that Bayley was smiling, all right, well, I saved my championship, and pretty much at the expense of yours. You know what I mean? So it was building that, and we're going to get a lot more dissension, because they have another championship match next week, which is the tag titles, which they were putting over more than the Thunderdome. They were just all right, the tag championships are being defended on Payback next week, a week from tonight. Yep. So I want to see how this goes, but I think WWE made the right move. Now, if WWE can make a second move and bring Shayna Baszler into the title picture and actually have her win this time, I think we'll be all okay.
And I think that's what's coming up. I think that's what's next is Bayley. Asuka's going to go towards Shayna Baszler. Yeah. And, I was hoping that Sasha would keep the title, and Bayley and her would fight over the Raw title on Raw, and Asuka would go on and battle Naomi on SmackDown, but that's not how it happened. Mm-hmm. But so Sasha loses here in her, second title defense, I guess, since winning it back this time. Mm-hmm. And we know that she's got a history of short title reigns and really fluky title defenses. When her and Charlotte went back and forth, but a lot of people don't remember that Charlotte lost it almost as quickly as Sasha lost it when they were going back and forth and trading wins and losses for the belt. I want to ask you this, Steph. Does this make Sasha look weak? The fact that she keeps losing these titles? Really quick.
What I would say is that every title loss that she's had, and I saw this comment online, so I'll just refer to the person that said it, was that she is the ultimate transitional champion. And that sucks because of how talented Sasha really is, and how she deserves, as one fourth of the four horsewomen of WWE, a lengthy title reign. But I could see why, given this storyline, you would have her lose very quickly, because you have her champion and Bayley champion. Someone's got to keep their belt. Someone's got to lose it. Bayley's the longest reigning SmackDown champion. Sasha just won hers. So the better of two evils at this point is keeping the belt on Bayley and giving Sasha the loss. And Sasha loses really well. And that's not taking anything away from her in-ring work. But when she loses, she's a very convincing loser. And I personally, I'm trying to compliment her and find a compliment in being a very good loser, but I can't seem to find one right now, but I will. But I feel like she needs a lengthy title run, and my expectation would be that hopefully her next title reign will be more lengthy. Hopefully.
Hopefully, but maybe she does get the SmackDown title. I don't know. I was hoping that Naomi would get a shot, but maybe that's not in the cards, like I said. Ruben is here. Ruben says, yo, what's up, guys? I'm here in PR, and here another review. Hart, and I think Roman is heel now, hopefully.
Hopefully,
Wow.
Ruben. And shout out to Ruben in PR. Shit, like I wish I was in PR right now, too. I need a vacation before school starts.
Very good. And Katrina joined us. Katrina, what's up? That's my tag team partner. The A show is on tomorrow night, Raw. Check us out. Ricky, I'm not answering questions about my vacation. That's not part of the show tonight. That's Asuka and Sasha. Let's talk about next Drew versus Randy Orton. And for that, I'm going to ask somebody to come on in and join us. But before we get, as I'm doing that, let me ask you, what did you think about that match? Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre.
Okay, so this is I'm going to try to be quick with this explanation because I feel like it was very straightforward. Randy Orton's been on a tear. You'd put the belt on Randy. To be honest, at this point, you have a challenger that literally is on the same standing as the defending champion. And it was a believable match, and it would have been believable if Randy had stripped Drew of that title tonight. And to me, this is WWE going, all right, well, we got a pay-per-view next week, and we need to build till next week. So maybe leave this shock value to next week because, one, Drew didn't have his moment at WrestleMania this year when he won the title off of Brock. So maybe tonight was his moment in the Thunderdome to retain against Randy Orton, who has, for lack of a better term, beaten everybody since he's been on this Legend Killer tear. So I'm a little iffy. I enjoyed the match. I feel like they bring the best out of each other. They definitely have great in-ring chemistry. And it was a great story, to be honest. So I want to see more. I definitely want to see more of it.
Yeah, very good. I've asked George to come in. He's one of our UPR fans, and he's going to join us here right now. George, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? What's up, George?
Oh, I'm pretty good. Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
All right, very good. We're doing all right. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the program, sir. We're talking about Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre right now, and I just want to see your thoughts quickly. I know I see you in the chat all the time. You dropping knowledge left and right. What do you think about Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre?
Wow. I mean, it was a pretty good match, but the back and forth. But that ending to me with Drew McIntyre with that schoolboy roll up over Randy Orton.
The backslide?
Yeah, the backslide. I thought that ending was, in my opinion, was kind of weird. But in the end, Drew still WWE Champion. Hopefully, whoever his next opponent is, we'll see. But I want to get back to the Asuka versus Sasha match. Okay. Now, I predicted that Asuka was going to win, defeat Sasha Banks, and notice that she looks at Bayley and is like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Did you really call me in a match?" And Bayley's like, "Nah, I'm sorry. I mean, I see this feud going somewhere. I definitely see it, and most likely, if next Sunday is Payback, and I do think Sasha and Bayley will lose the women's tag titles next Sunday. but we don't know who their opponent's going to be. Now the floating, the Riot Squad, the Iconics. Well, we don't know who is going to face them next Sunday.
Yeah, who do you want to see?
You know, I don't know about the Iconics. I think the Riot Squad, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, to me, I think is a pretty good choice. Knowing that they're in the feud with the Iconics, so we'll see how this goes. But I'm going with the Riot Squad.
Yeah. All right. You know, that's a question I forgot to ask you, Steph, is we do have, George pointed this out, and thank you for reminding me, you got Payback on Sunday, so we got to move very quick through Raw tomorrow and SmackDown to build up to another pay-per-view a week away. I can see some things from tonight's show trickling over to Payback, but not that much to fill up an entire 3-hour card. Although none of the major pay-per-views have been 3 hours, they've always been like 2.5.
Yeah.
Are there any women's tag teams that you think could
I think
challenge?
that we had a pairing of Shayna Baszler and Asuka. I feel like that presents a big problem because you have a potential challenger, and then you have basically the feuding between Sasha and Bayley at this point. Seeing that you have those two feuding right now, and those two are just they're going through a dissension at this point between their ranks. So I would say put Asuka and Shayna in a match against them both and have them drop the belts. To me, I don't feel like the Iconics, and this is not to disrespect you at all, George, because I completely respect your opinion, but I feel like that's a bad fucking choice. Liv and Ruby Riott can't seem to get on the same page for shit. They win 1 minute, they lose the next. They're best friends 1 minute, they want to beat each other, the hell out of each other the next. I feel like with Asuka and Shayna, it's just been very straightforward. You bring out the best in me. I want to fight you if you win the title. It's straightforward. There's a potential challenger in Shayna Baszler that it would present enough drama that if they actually pulled it off, you could call back to the two-man power trip like Triple H and Steve Austin and different pairings that have turned on each other. Rated RKO, different tag teams that have feuded. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, for instance. You know what I mean? So that for me would be entertaining. I don't know how the Iconics or the Riot Squad, how entertaining that would be, seeing that they would lose. You know what I mean? That would be a squash, to be honest. I don't see.
It's got to be. It's got to be a team that beats them, right? What about this one? Elvis drops Lana and Natalya.
Hell no.
No.
Lana and Natalya, no. Hell no. I'm not even going to say that.
I don't know what he was smoking. I don't know what he's smoking, but no. That's
a crime by the public school system. That's a crime for the public school system of Colorado, because at this point, I don't understand how Elvis would say that bullshit. To be honest, that is just pure bullshit.
But Stefan, to your point, Shayna and Asuka, I mean, what would happen if Shayna challenged Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship at Backlash?
That Backlash was before. This is Payback. First off,
Payback. My bad.
To me, it would be one. It makes the most sense. She's not going to challenge her this coming week. Obviously, you have a week of build. That could happen, but you could still defend. There have been people that have partnered, like Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins, for instance. Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins were tag team partners and also had a match for the Universal title when Braun was challenging Seth Rollins. So that is possible. So I'm not going to say that's completely impossible, but for me, I would like to see them pair up, and then after you build towards a Shayna Baszler match potentially down the line, because obviously Shayna deserves it. You know what I mean? And with the pending 4 horsewomen of MMA coming up, because you already seen Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke on Raw Underground. It's just a matter of time till Ronda Rousey comes back.
And I was gonna, Steph, that's a good point too. I was gonna bring that up. What if it's one of them? What if it's Shayna and Shafir or Duke?
Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir challenge for the.
I would actually like that. It would be something different. You know, obviously tomorrow is a big night for Raw. Tomorrow, obviously their first night in the Thunderdome. Secondly, we're going to talk about this later, but Keith Lee definitely is going to play a factor in that. So seeing a new tag team challenge as opposed to the Iconics that have already won it. Natalya and Lana don't deserve it. Lana messes up storylines and literally got Rusev kicked off TV. Alexa Bliss and this chick are feuding. The Riot Squad is got together. Nikki Cross are feuding at this point. I don't see anybody else that you could potentially on the main roster bring up to challenge them. That would be like, all right, well, they're believable challengers. You know what I mean? Do something new or do something that obviously the last week, 2 weeks ago, they were beat by Shayna Baszler and Asuka, and I think that's the way to go. Strike the iron while it's hot. Naomi and Dana Brooke, you're still
that's worse. That's worse than the other.
No.
It really was. I don't understand Elvis sometimes. Like, I love you to death, bro. But come on, man.
Naomi and Tamina.
do you hear the clicking? That's Naomi. That is Tamina's knees clicking, or the sound of the TV when Tamina comes on. Like, that is terrible. Like, that was an even worse choice. Naomi may be the most talented wrestler on that roster, but she's not going to carry Tamina to a championship victory. That's not happening. She's not that talented.
But let's break it down this way, right? Because obviously there is no women's tag team other than the Iconics that's already built together. There's Liv and Ruby, and they're broken up. And like, to tell a really good story of them, and when I say them, I'm talking about Sasha and Bailey. If they were to royally fuck up and shit the bed, that would cause such a wedge in their friendship to be like, yo, we should have fucking washed these jobbers. How do we just lose to Lana and Natalya? Like, I can see that.
There's two ways of looking at it. Obviously that's why I didn't disagree completely. I think there's two ways of looking at it. Like you said, obviously that would be a shock win, which obviously tonight Asuka not winning was a shock. Both titles was a shock, but I feel like put them up against at least a believable team. I mean, I hate saying this, but I'm going to just save my comments because I feel like everything I say at this point is going to be derogatory because all these performers are super talented and have more talent in their pinkies than I do in my entire body. So I could never do what they do. So I don't want to critique in-ring prowess or anything. But I don't know. As a fan, I don't know if it would be believable for Naomi, Tamina, and Tamina's knees to actually win the women's tag championships. You know what I mean? I don't feel like that's a possibility. I just don't. But maybe some people do. Maybe the people in the comments think that they will. Who knows?
Yeah, I think the women's tag team division is it's weak. Like you mentioned, Stephon, you got the Iconics. They're the only women's tag team. And you got Sasha and Bailey. Pretty much. I mean, Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan, I know they're having their issues. But how would WWE pair up women in a women's tag team? I mean, it's not that. I think it's difficult for them to do that. But like I said, Sasha and Bailey are pretty much legit as a tag team. They won them. They won it. So you mentioned Asuka and Shayna.
I will straight up apologize to you, Elvis. If both of those come up, I will apologize to you.
Asuka and Shayna, I see that. So it's weird. It's really weird.
Yeah, you know you know what it is, George. WWE books sometimes funny where it's like, take the thing with Keith Lee, right? So everybody was upset last night that Keith dropped the belt just after a month of getting it, right?
Oh yeah, it was all over social media.
And so we're going to get to that in the news portion of it because I want to discuss that with Steph. But I want to, and I'm going to get to some of these comments that are asking, what about a NXT tag team, which it could happen. But the only tag team I see is Shotzi and Tegan Nox possibly doing it. But WWE and Vince will usually book people that sometimes you get over on your own. Keith Lee got over on his own. He got over on his build, his charisma. He don't need the title to be over.
Right.
Exactly.
But a guy like Karrion Kross does need a title to get over. A woman like Bayley does not need a title now to get over. She's over on her own. I thought she was going to drop the belt to Nikki because Nikki Cross needed to get over. And so sometimes the person that holds the belt makes the belt. Sometimes the belt makes the superstar. And so in this aspect of the tag team championships, whoever loses to Bayley and Sasha, they can have a fluke victory and take the titles and run with it, just like the Iconics did about a year and a half ago when they came out of nowhere and out of NXT and became the champs. So I think I would buy somebody.
The Kabuki Warriors. The Kabuki Warriors, they won against Nikki and Alexa.
That's right. So I think it's possible for anybody to come out. It could be even, you got what's her name that just showed up to Monday Night Raw.
Mickie James?
My God. Mickie James. Thank you. Mickie James can show up with Melina tomorrow night. And what if Sunday it's Melina, Mickie James versus, Sasha and Bayley, and they take the titles. Like anything can happen, right? So that could be something, right? Paige and AJ Lee, I swear to God, I will pay you $100. I will send you $100 fucking dollars, Elvis. I have your address. I've sent you a shirt. I will send you $100 fucking dollars. I will PayPal you $100 if Paige and AJ Lee show up on Sunday and win the titles. You can bet your bottom dollar.
To that, Elvis, I think you'd have more of a chance of Lita and Trish Stratus coming back and versing them for those tag titles. I'm just saying, that's more of a PayPal situation. But I'm just gonna say, good luck to you if you win it tomorrow. If you win the $100, I will publicly come back and apologize tomorrow night. I will. I am wrong.
What's up, Charmaine? Yeah. All right. Getting back to Drew and Randy. I like the match. I really like. I was talking to Steph before the show started, and I want to hear some of his thoughts here because I think he was thinking Randy was going to go over. And to me, I can't stand Randy Orton. I haven't been a fan of his. I respect his work, but I haven't been a fan of his. I think he's very bland. I respect the mind games that he's shown this past year, and he's been doing phenomenal this year. But Drew McIntyre is the future of this company. I feel that he gets it. I don't know if y'all looked online, but this weekend, Drew McIntyre wrote an article for the Players Tribune. That's I think it's Derek Jeter and a couple other players. They have their own kind of journalism website where players write their own articles about the sports that they are in. And so Drew McIntyre wrote about being his struggles, right? Where he came up from how he got into wrestling, and why he got fired, and what that taught him. And as you read this, I swear to you, I was like, Drew McIntyre is the champion that we need right now. And if you haven't read it, I urge you guys to go read that. Drew McIntyre is definitely, he gets it. And if Randy would have won tonight, I would have been heavily disappointed. I would have not understood it, but I would have been really pissed off.
Here's my thing. I think, all right, because I want to say to the people that say, I'm not going to watch Raw because they booked something that I don't like. You're asking me in front of your TV at 8 p.m. tomorrow watching Raw. Exactly. Don't do that. First and foremost, let's just say this, right? Let's say that we have two world champion caliber athletes. Drew McIntyre has more than proven since his return to WWE that he can hold the championship. You made the comment earlier. I was about to call you Big Daddy Cole, but I said I will never call him that. You made the comment.
Willie said the same thing, and now he calls me Big.
All right, so big work. So I didn't call you Big. So to your comments earlier, Steven, it was funny because you said sometimes the champion makes the man, or sometimes the man makes the champion. Drew McIntyre is the type of person that makes the championship. We can all agree on that. Whether it's the NXT title, which he did not hold for as long as he's held the WWE Championship, but if he had lost tonight, I think you give him a mountain to climb over. I feel like every champion has a championship struggle. There has been no contender for that championship that has stepped up to Drew, even the night that he won it in the Big Show. The Big Show was booked before as one of the most dominant WWE superstars, was not a challenge. Randy projected a logical challenge to him and literally a believable end to his reign for now. And obviously, when you're making booking decisions, you have to think of the outcome. Is Randy doing some of the best work he's ever done in his career? Yes. Is Drew the champion that we deserve and that we've needed for years? Hell yes. But you kind of have to meet those two ends with what makes the most logical sense right now. They protected Randy with the finish, with the backslide finish, because Randy just looked like, oh shit, it came out of nowhere. I didn't see it coming, keep it to their tagline. And that gives the opportunity to run it back. So this goes to George's point. Who challenges Drew next? Randy. Because Randy's not going to stop. We've seen where Edge and Randy have gone head-to-head this year, and Randy did not stop until he kicked Edge in the greatest match ever. So I think this is a run-it-back opportunity for next week, because obviously we're going to watch Monday Night Raw tomorrow, and Randy's going to come out of nowhere and be like, hey, kid, you really didn't beat me the way you should have. You didn't pin my – whatever he's going to say, whatever slick shit he's going to say, and you're going to get a rematch. And possibly at Payback, like I was saying to Steven earlier, you're going to get that finish where Randy raises the championship above his head. Like him, love him, hate him, whatever. It's just at this point, he is doing the best work ever. And as a heel, you need a heel champion. At this point, we don't know where the Fiend lies. The Fiend is a tweener, if anything, on SmackDown. So we're not sure if Roman Reigns is a face going after the Fiend or if he's a heel. So we have yet to see. But Randy's a believable mountain for Drew McIntyre to have to climb. And I think that we're going to see in the next coming days that Drew McIntyre is going to have a rematch with him and possibly lose them. But, I mean, I appreciate the finish from WWE. I will say that. I appreciate it because you protected both superstars.
Yeah.
You made Drew look smart, and you made Randy look – you made Randy look like, okay, well, I didn't see it coming, you know? And
I agree. I think you hit the nail right on the head, Steph, and by saying like they protected Randy with that backslide. Like a lot of people I saw on social media, like I'm actively tweeting under unpopular review on Twitter all the time, and a lot of people were like, "That's a bullshit finish. How do you have Randy lose to a backslide?" But the backslide, like you said, Steph, tomorrow night Randy's gonna come out and be like, "Yo, that was a fluke. You got the best of me for 3 seconds. You didn't hit me with no Claymore. You didn't beat me. You just got lucky."
Exactly.
And it can set up a rematch
at Payback.
At Payback. But you know, right now you can look at the guy. Drew McIntyre has knocked off Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, and you know a couple other guys in between. Like the dude is
he's rolling.
Really like coming into his prominence right now. Like I feel like they would really be taking it away. I understand, like I think there's more money in the chase of Drew McIntyre chasing Randy Orton for that title. But if you're telling me what I read on the dirt sheets is true, that the money matchup is Randy Orton versus Edge at WrestleMania 2021, my man, that is not. I'm not buying that fucking ticket. I don't give a shit about that. I gave a shit about that in 2009, but not fucking now. Not in 2021.
What I would say is to have a match of that, like you said, 2009 was the year for Edge versus Randy Orton. If you're doing it again and doing this blow-off match, then you make it a last man standing match. You do something like that. You don't put your world championship on the line. And if Drew's going to lose it, like, I would totally believe if Randy takes the title off of Drew and Drew wins it back at something like, say, Royal Rumble, and he goes into WrestleMania as the WWE champion again. You know what I mean? And have somebody believable to actually freaking chase him.
Right.
Like imagine Brock winning the Royal Rumble and coming back for his title. That makes logical sense for me because Brock, as much as we hate him, he is a dominant champion. So you have to book these things. And obviously, Keith Lee said something very interesting, and my friend Anthony told me they had this thing on WWE's website, and they were talking in the ring about their respective matches. And, you know, we're going to get to Keith Lee later, but Drew said something. He said, in every place that I've been, you've taken the title from me. If it's in NXT, if it's in the Indies, like, you've taken the belt from me. So are we setting up for a potential Keith Lee Royal Rumble win and him taking the belt off of Drew in 2021 in Hollywood? So for me, that's a big money match. That's a match that my ass will be glued to the TV even 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 days before that match hits. Why? Because
I will be ordering pizza. I will be ordering pizza and a Coke for that match. That will be that should be the main event. Forget the other matches. That would be the main event. That needs to be.
You'd have two guys. I feel like in terms of what Steven said earlier, you'd have two guys that have had championships, and because of their pure charisma, their in-ring prowess, have really made those titles what they are. To say that Keith Lee in his 1 month NXT champion did not elevate that title, completely false. To say that he did not elevate the North American Championship, and then after beating Adam Cole, like going to that match yesterday with Karrion Kross, actually being on the level like, yo, I am a champion that's defending, and I am the best damn thing in NXT right now. He did that. So you have Drew McIntyre doing the same thing on Monday Night Raw. So I would legitimately want to see that match. That match would be crazy to me. It'd be bringing the best of both worlds because you'll get those NXT fans. You'll get those fans from both of their indie careers watching that match, because who would have said in 2020 we were going to get Keith Lee in a WWE ring? Like, nobody knew that was coming. You know what I mean? And that's nobody.
Right.
And imagine in 2021 he wins the Royal Rumble. Is that logical? Yes. Because I don't see any other front runners, and I don't want to pre-book the Royal Rumble because I know we at UPR, we do the predictions for Royal Rumble. Spoiler, guys, I've already picked Keith Lee. But it's logical because it makes sense, and it goes back to their long-term history and career together. So, I mean, it's exciting, but we can fantasy book all day, but let's just see what happens this week. Let's see what happens tomorrow on the A Show, as Steven calls it.
On the A Show, that's right, man. With me and Katrina hosting after tomorrow night's Monday Night Raw. Yeah, man, it's a lot of, I don't know. I'm really interested to go into Raw tomorrow night, just as you should after a big pay-per-view like this. I'm interested to see where's Keith Lee doing his business, right? So now that you mentioned it, Steph, I'm going to just throw this up because...
Before we get to that,
we got Keith Lee showing up tomorrow night.
What about Sasha Banks? What about Sasha Banks?
Just shit about Sasha Banks. We're talking about Keith Lee.
I'm sure that's the question I would ask. If she comes on
I would expect that would be the setup, right? I don't think they're going to give her a rematch, but I think that would be the setup for you throwing a Raw tag team in there to go up against Bayley. Plus, Sasha and Bayley are the money draws. So I think you would use that, her to come out and say, I want my rematch, and then the Iconics show up, or Lana and Natty show up, and they're like, fuck your rematch. We want these tag titles. We're not looking behind. We're looking forward. So exactly. I see that being booked tomorrow, but I think they're going to move straight into Asuka versus Shayna.
I mean, you could. I mean,
as they should, or you build to it. Maybe you have Asuka wash Marina Shafir. Maybe you have Asuka wash Jessamine Duke to get to Shayna Baszler, and then once she gets to Shayna, she washes Shayna, and then who do you draw out?
Ain't Shayna in a sort of a little bitty feud with Nia Jax?
Okay, check this out. Nia Jax is fired, definitely. She's a travesty. I don't understand why she continues to come back to Raw. I feel like, I'm sorry, I know this is Raw talk, but to come back week after week, because I'm going to be very quick with this. So come out week after week, and obviously, you ain't been hot since 2018, Mama. I'm just saying, I love her to death. Mama, you'd be hot since 2018. So for me, and this is just being a wrestling fan, I don't see the value of putting Shayna Baszler in these situations where you're just keeping her away from the inevitable. She should have won Money in the Bank. She should have won the Raw Women's Championship. That's the way you should have gone. Some things are just straightforward. And the fact that WWE, and I know we've talked about there's money in the chase, but that was just an obvious. You put the belt on Asuka and Otis.
Oh my God.
You put the freaking briefcases on Asuka and Otis.
They didn't put the belt on Otis. But
they didn't put the belt on Otis.
You put the briefcase on Asuka and you put the briefcase on Otis. Asuka wins the title, and then loses to Sasha Banks within a week or so of winning, of being handed the championship, and now wins it back, which is a legitimate win. But it's like, come on, like Shayna was the most believable person going into that match. Whatever, we're not gonna go back there, but that match, whatever it was, it's just come on, like something that's straightforward. Denise said Drew's gonna verse against Cena.
That would be a
Cena
good
because
matchup.
remember he's had think about this. He's a heel Cena because Cena got in contact with the Fiend, so that means he's changed. So are we getting the Dr. Thugonomics? Who are we getting when Cena comes back? You know what I mean?
That would be fire, but that's like WrestleMania caliber stuff because
that really is.
Cena is deadly on the mic.
He really is.
So is Drew. And if they're off the cuff, there's no bullet points to read off of. Like, I would like to see that. Plus, you got Cena, who I don't know if you guys caught this over the weekend. And it's interesting that Denise brings this matchup up, so we'll entertain it for a couple seconds. Cena is in the new Suicide Squad movie, and
he's the Peacemaker.
He's the Peacemaker, and
I saw it.
And there's a clip of Cena saying he's playing a guy that is pretty much a douche version of Captain America. And so what better way to kind of introduce his heel character or heel-ish, heel-light Cena by having him go up against Drew McIntyre leading up to WrestleMania? I think it's a good matchup, but
is that a matchup
I don't think it's happening.
If it's a matchup for him to climb, I say yes. I think Keith Lee's more logical, but I would say Cena would put asses in seats just off the fact that we all miss him. Any wrestling fan right now, whether you hate him or love him, you cannot say that we don't miss Cena right about now. Ricky says Cena's never coming back, just like you'll never
say never.
Manager, ever. And I mean ever. I mean, you suck.
All right, guys. All right. Well, George, I'm gonna say thanks for jumping on with us, man. We're gonna take the rest of this home, but you brought in some valuable opinions and definitely got us thinking about some other stuff that we weren't gonna be thinking about with just the two of us. So thanks for coming on. And we'll probably have you on soon, man. Right?
Thank you,
all right, man.
All right, thanks for having me, man.
Have a good one. All right, Steph. That was pretty cool to have George on for just a little bit. And now we're going to take a quick little break. And then we're going to reset and then quickly go through the rest of the show. So that way we're not here till 1 a.m. like we usually are on Monday nights. You're watching Unpopular Review, powered by Yep, I Like Wrestling. We're going to be back on the other side of this commercial. Oh, not that one. Hold on a second.
Do you want to show your love for the UPR universe? Or do you just want to show your love for Yep, I Like Wrestling? If you want to support these guys, go to ProWrestlingTees.com where you can get shirt and a lot of other merch.
Very good. Welcome back. You guys are watching Unpopular Reviews, powered by Yep, I Like Wrestling. I am Big Daddy Cool. Join with me here for the SummerSlam Results Show is Stefan. We've just pretty much gone through most of the major matchups of the card. We can go back and kind of discuss them if you want to. If you're joining us midway through the show, just joined us and you want to chat. But right now, we're just going to keep going through some of the lower mid-card and low-card matchups in no particular order. Let's just go, I guess, and let's talk about Seth and Dominic. But before we jump into that, again, guys, if you're joining us, please like, love, share this feed, this program with all your timelines, wrestling friends, fans, wrestling groups. So that way we get the word out about Unpopular Review, and that way we can have more interaction and a bigger base of fans to discuss what we love most, and that's wrestling. So let's talk about Seth versus Dominic. Steph, what did you think about this match?
I just like yesterday's match with Pat McAfee and Adam Cole. I think that these two, in terms of Pat McAfee and Dominic Mysterio, I was going to call him Dominic Guerrero, but just amazing in terms of what they brought to the table. The storytelling where Dominic came into the ring and he looked kind of nervous and then he started moving and you actually saw that confidence, that Mysterio confidence coming into play. And Seth is just a chicken shit heel. And I just love the story that they told tonight. And just Ray, just like, would he get involved? Would he keep his promise to Dominic that he wouldn't get involved? Angie Mysterio coming down and Seth pretending like he was going to go and whack the hell out of her. And then, handcuffing Ray to the bottom rope and pretty much curb stopping Dominic and pinning him right in front of Rey Mysterio. I feel like all the little nuances of this match made this match spectacular and made this one of the greatest debuts for a second generation or third generation superstar in terms of Dominic Mysterio. Because obviously his father and his grandfather and his uncle and most of his family were luchadors in Mexico. So I love this match. I love what it did. I love the fact that Seth Rollins is going to be a father, and he kept playing that father card. What kind of father are you, Ray? Like, it was just such an amazing thing to see, and Dominic did such a great job. So, big ups from UPR to Dominic Guerrero. He did an amazing
Dominic Guerrero
job tonight.
You called him Dominic Guerrero again.
He's Eddie's son. If anybody
That's
remembers story time with Eddie Guerrero,
Yep.
you'll understand why I'm calling him Dominic Guerrero.
He also used a lot of Eddie's moves in the match too.
He really did, and he had an interview before the match, and he was talking about Eddie, and he was saying, "I wish Eddie was here, because Eddie would have loved to see me perform and loved to see how far I've come from being in the ring as a part of my father's storyline to being part of my own storyline." You know what I mean? I feel like that's just full circles. And WWE is really, really, really great about bringing things freaking full circle in terms of their superstars, especially their second and third generation superstars. So that's, it's looking really good for Dwayne Johnson's daughter, to be honest, because she's got some big shoes to fill. Dominic just came in there and wrecked shit. You have Randy Orton, third generation superstar, who is amazing. Her father before her. So she's got a long way to go. So, I mean, I'm really excited for all of the next generation superstars, to be honest.
Let me ask you this. Do you think you had two guys debut in this weekend? Excuse me. Thank you, Charmaine. You had two guys debut this weekend. You had Pat McAfee, who is not a wrestler, who is not related to anybody in wrestling. And he showed out. Really good show, really good match with Adam Cole. And you had Dominic Mysterio, who is the son of a Hall of Famer and has been around wrestling for most of his life, if not all of his life. Who had the better debut?
See, I hate questions like that. I really do. And you, Steven, love poking the fucking bear, I hear. So you are like Pat McAfee in a sense, because you know what it takes to dig into the person that you're actually interviewing and get them to give you a really great answer. To me, I would say Pat, because Dominic was going to do good regardless. Obviously, you are in there with the best of the best in terms of Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has been all over the world. Not to mention, you have your father's tutelage at your side, and obviously you can lean on your father for experience, and then obviously any member of the WWE locker room that knows your father is family to you. You know what I mean? So I feel like Pat had more of an uphill climb, and not to say that they didn't give him training and he wasn't in the PC, because he was in the PC. Let's not even say he wasn't. But I think that it just was more of an uphill climb because you didn't do this. You're coming from a different sport, which is football. You're a puncher by right. You've won championships. You've won rings. Great. But this is not, like Adam Cole kept saying, this is not your world. And it was seeing somebody come from outside of the wrestling world and come in and really prove to us, like, damn, you can hold your own against Adam Cole, though that match was really greatly put together. I loved it. From every moment of that match, he just had the there was no nerves in the beginning of the match. Pat McAfee was going in there like, yo, I'm going to show Adam Cole up in his house. I'm going to punch you right in the chest. Like that confidence. But when you saw Dominic get in, even in the beginning, and maybe this is to throw us off as a red herring, but he looked at his dad like he was nervous. And there was that nerves because obviously this is SummerSlam. Who wouldn't be nervous? I would be nervous if I was on that biggest stage and I had to perform on the level of my father before me, you know, and his father and my uncle and all this other stuff, you know? So, I mean, I just think Pat, maybe it was the environment, a smaller environment because they were at Full Sail last night. Maybe it was the fact that, you know, it's more of a family kind of feel, and Pat is familiar with that family because he's done all of these interviews for takeovers and stuff like that. So it's just, I feel like I'm going to give the edge to Pat. I'm going to definitely give it to Pat.
Yeah, I think the expectation was a lot lower for Pat, right? And so that way, when you see him in ring, it was like a bigger shock. I will say, I think in that same vein, I think being the son of Rey Mysterio, I know I was expecting Dominic to be like jumping off the top rope, doing 619s, doing all this other stuff, and he did do a 619, looked pretty good. But I didn't see as much high flying. And again, he's a different build as Rey, but I just thought I'd get more. I don't know. I'd get more like Angel Garza type technique, more Humberto Carrillo, and I didn't get none of that. And I understand that was the match was supposed to be like a street fight, a vendetta match, but I wasn't feeling it. So, I mean, that's my opinion on the Dominic thing. We'll give him another shot. Obviously, he's got some stuff to do, but honestly, like coming up in a Latino household, I can tell you right now that I was shocked by Ray's, what he did after the match, telling his boy that he still loves him and all this other stuff. Because honestly, he disappointed his father. He failed miserably. He was supposed to avenge his father losing his eyeball. And avenge his Hall of Fame father a bunch of times, and he fucking failed. He is a horrible son. Let's be honest. He should have fucking whipped out a fucking chancleta. He should have fucking hit him with the fucking flip-flop, and he should have been like, how dare you fucking ruin my name?
I was thinking the Italian father who would just stand there like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Really? All day for this? We trained. How long did you train? You walk away. You're sleeping outside. Come home. You know what I mean? So I didn't even understand, but it's just, I want to give it to Dominic, you know, because obviously this is your debut and the way the match is set up, and obviously the storytelling was that he was going to get outclassed by Seth Rollins. If this turned from a street fight into a wrestling match, we were going to get outclassed. Seth Rollins, whether you're Tyler Black, whether you're Seth Rollins, you're going to whoop Dominic Mysterio's ass his first match. You're going to take the L, just like Pat McAfee took the L, but it's just how you take the L. And like, you're right. We expected Angel Garza. We expected moonsaults. We expected, dragon suplexes. We expected, everything like that. And I feel like we went into this match like, oh, he did a really great job. While Stephen Alisi tried, Denise said he did good though. Regardless, I agree.
I don't know. Listen, I'm not that critical of WWE and that often, but I felt I needed to be critical about this because I was like expecting Dominic to like really wow me, and it's just I think that's the reason is like the expectation with Pat McAfee was like, you don't know wrestling, so you're like down here with the expectation. Dominic Mysterio, okay, you better be good, bro. Like if you're the son of a Hall of Famer, and we've seen Charlotte, and we've seen all these Randy Orton, like you better come here. And I don't know, he just kind of fell flat to me. So I don't know. He should have been, and he also did not avenge his father. His father sacrificed his eye. What did Dominic sacrifice? Nothing. He's horrible. Honestly, Dominic, and if you disagree with me, hit me up. But honestly, Dominic should go to AEW and become the AEW champion because that's what former WWE guys do in AEW. It's become
Christ. I mean,
anyways,
I like that on social media. He got a lot of support because to me, I felt like if you wanted to give Dominic the W, you would have had all the Mexican superstars you had on your roster, whether NXT or the main roster. Legado del Fantasma put out support for Dominic. Obviously Humberto, everybody that put out support. Rally
And
around
all of them
him for
should
that
show up on Monday night and beat the living shit out of him for fucking disgracing his father.
match.
All of them, just
Ridiculous.
all of them. That's how Raw should start out. Is Dominic is in the ring and he's like, Dad, I'm really sorry I let you down. And then like everybody, like every Mexican wrestler, everybody that's been like even Sasha Banks is there. Everybody that like looks up to Ray, and they should just stomp the shit out of fucking Dominic.
It takes a village to whoop a child's ass. Apparently, that's what it is at this point.
That's it, and he'll learn. Oh, you gonna learn today, boy? Pop, 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 pop. That's exactly what fucking Raw should be on tomorrow. Let's talk about this Mandy versus Sonya. It wasn't hair versus hair. It was loser leaves WWE match. Mandy ends up winning. Were you surprised by Mandy winning?
I'm super surprised by Mandy winning. Obviously, in terms of in-ring work, we saw from Mandy tonight things that we haven't seen from her. There was a fire lit under her ass. She had something to prove tonight against Sonya, and Sonya usually is the powerhouse of that tandem. So for me, I like the fact that you had a match where we expected Sonya to walk out the winner, and we got Mandy. I was mad, obviously, because I was going head-to-head with Patrick about who got the most points right. But I really feel like, given the situation, because you got to look at the situation that happened with Sonya, and this is another thing to fans. If you are lucky enough to shake a superstar's hand, shake their hand and go the fuck on about your business. Don't stalk them at their homes. Don't try to kill them because they ignore you on Twitter. I sent Dwayne Johnson 2 messages on Instagram, not gotten 1 response, but I still love the guy. Why? Because he's entertained me my whole life. So for me, I'm not going to go and sit at Dwayne's house in Florida and be like, I'm waiting for you, Dwayne. Because 1, he's 6'5" and he whooped my ass. and two, obviously, it's just decorum. Like, we have to learn their boundaries as fans. That's why they put limitations. Like, there's been a bunch of pictures, and I just feel sorry for the person behind the Sonya Deville character, Daria, because you could tell, like, even in the court case, like, she looked like she was just disgusted. So I feel like she deserves the time off. And if this is the way you have to write her off of WWE TV, or because this would be sad if she went through that and then she's getting fired. You know, I don't want to believe she's being fired. But if this is the time she takes to get herself collected and come back stronger, like, by all means, let it ride. I hated the finish of the match. I felt like you could have had a double pin, protected both of them in a way, but you put Mandy over, and then Otis, like a dumbass, ran out with his briefcase that he keeps sandwiches, ham hocks, and ribs in, and he just ran down there to hug his woman, his pizza, as he calls her, and it's just like...
That's right.
We look bad. They look bad as a unit. Mandy didn't look any better having Otis there and then trying to do the caterpillar herself. It just...
You know, it's funny that you mentioned... It's funny that you mentioned the stalker, right? Because I actually got a picture. I don't know if everybody is up to speed on what happened. So Sonya earlier this week at her house, somebody not attacked her, but showed up at her house. And she is, Steph, there's like a crackling going on. I don't know if that's typing or something I hear. So somebody showed up at Sonya's house, and then she called the cops, and they arrested him. So this is a picture of the guy right here.
Damn! God damn it, Pikachu! You struck again.
He struck again. That guy can't fucking take that guy anywhere, man.
That's not Ash's Pikachu. That's for sure. Ash would have. Shit.
Yeah, that was just a bad Pikachu right there. So
that's bad Pikachu.
I don't know. You know, when I was hosting SmackDown way back when, I was a big fan of Sonya Deville. I still am a big fan of Sonya Deville. I think they were doing a really good job with pushing her, and you know, her getting kind of repackaged as this badass really worked out well for her. And now, because of this, obviously, I guess she needs some time off. It's unfortunate because I feel like she could have been a serious contender. Like, everybody's I got into an argument with some friends of mine over the weekend about like, oh, like, why nobody asked for Sonya versus Mandy? Well, yeah, you did. When you talk about I'm sick of seeing Becky or Sasha or Charlotte or Bailey at the top. Like, yeah, you asked for new blood, and how are you gonna get new blood? By these fucking bullshit matches, like hair versus hair or whatnot. Like, that's how you're gonna get them on the come up. Sonya was on the come up, and it's unfortunate that like now this puts her on pause because I feel like she was really kind of doing her own thing. It's real unfortunate, but Mandy gets the win here, and I guess I don't know. What's next for her? Is she gonna fight for the
Mary
championship?
Otis, just Mary Otis, and then it's just Mary Otis, and then that's it. I feel like for me, you get more story out of Sonya because Sonya at this point, Sonya has this fire for the last few months, and I'm a huge fan of Sonya Deville, had this fire lit up her ass in terms of just her character, getting herself together, cutting promos that were believable. Like literally her backstage game has just been upped. And then when she's wearing a suit, like to be honest with you, she's in a suit, she gives me these Kingpin fucking vibes. Like
Yes.
literally Kingpin. Like I joked around with my friend and I was like, yo, she reminds me of the freaking Riddler, but she is just top of the line. Like you're cutting better promos than Mandy. You were leading this feud. We expected you to go over, and even if you had a finish where they both shoulders were on the ground, we didn't know who lost, and you kicked them both out and gave them both time off. At least maybe it would help Otis to get his freaking priorities straight in terms of cashing in eventually. But at the same time, it's just I don't understand, and it gets me angry because it's like it goes back to fans having limitations and boundaries and respect for the performers. Because if we can respect Roman Reigns, if nobody's going to run up in Roman Reigns' house and try to talk to Roman Reigns at his front door like I'm a fan of yours, I don't think anybody's going to Roman Reigns. Matter of fact, go to Brock Lesnar's house in Ontario. Go to Brock Lesnar. Pull that same shit with Lesnar. I want to see that guy, that Pikachu, pull the same shit with Lesnar and see how that situation would turn out. Like, go to Lesnar's house. I dare you. Like,
oh, of course
I
not.
Really
That's
do.
not going to happen.
Go to
like,
freaking Lesnar's house.
But let's be real. Like, if you saw a picture of this guy, like, I'm pretty sure Sonya would have, like,
she would have knocked
shit
him
out.
Exactly. She's a former MMA star. Obviously, you just try the wrong ones. And it's like, at the end of the day, it's sad because this is what we talk about in professional wrestling when you like there needs to be boundaries. Like the male superstars, like everybody thinks it happens to the males, but when it happens to the females, like I know that we talk about the female superstars that we like. We refer to them as beautiful and stuff like that. And there's a limit to that. I'm not going to show up at somebody's door. I'm not going to send them mail that is of my genitals. I'm not going to sit there and sneak into their back door and wait for them.
You're not Velveteen Dream?
I'm not even going to comment on that. I'm not even going to go there yet.
Allegedly.
I'm not even going to comment on that once again. But the fact of the matter is, I think that we have to be better as fans in terms of respecting that line.
Yeah.
Like, what's the line? I don't see any. It just downs to me. Nobody's going to walk up with Keith Lee on some disrespectful ish next to his woman Mia Yim. Nobody's doing that. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to walk up to Karrion Kross and to Scarlett Bordeaux and start talking that ill stuff. You know what I mean? No one's going to camp out in their house. The fuck? Why are you?
Yeah, but you never know with these guys. Like they're just mixed up in the head, and I feel like at least they caught this guy, and he didn't do nothing. But
he was planning to do something. I feel like
the dude showed up with like tape. Yeah, like he was ready to.
He was ready. He was ready to tell her to answer every message she didn't message, and it's sad because, like we talk about her talent and her raw potential. You know what I mean? We talk about literally how great she could be. And I feel like when she comes back, she's definitely a contender for that SmackDown Women's Championship because we've never seen that match. We've never seen her in a championship caliber match. Actually, she could win. And she's become more and more believable as the weeks have gone on. So I honestly, I'm really sad that because of fans like you and I who love this product, there's just no limit to some fans and they just go overboard, and it's really weird, and It should really stop. So let's get off the subject because I'm gonna get emotional. I really like Sonya Deville and I'm really sad about this match.
I wanted really to bring this comment up that George brought up earlier. Mandy tried to do a caterpillar and she totally failed. Like I don't know if she was winded from the match, but like
she was winded from laying under Otis's ass.
I'm trying to wow.
I'm
I'm gonna try and see if I can get a video and put that up on the Unpopular Review Facebook page. But
Please don't.
yo,
Please don't.
she botched this caterpillar bad.
She's
Like,
a rotten peach, Otis. She's a rotten peach. Get rid of her.
yeah,
Go
I
get
don't know.
Go get Sonya. Go get Sonya, bro.
But she tried. She tried, but she looked more like a fish out of water. Like,
I mean, Dominic tried tonight, but did we give him any less? Did we give him any leeway? No, he tried. He
no,
failed.
it's,
That's
it's
it.
like
That's
that.
it. Same shit. Same shit.
Art and the cake, and he's like, at least you tried, and then he throws the cake into the trash.
We don't give people trophies for trying. We give people trophies for winning. Congratulations on winning your match. You failed at the caterpillar. Try again next time.
Let's see what else we got. We got Andrade and Garza versus Street Profits. Street Profits won. Any surprises here? Were you surprised by this?
I'll be honest with the fans here. I went and took a shit during this match. This was the I go and take a shit match. It was. I'm sorry. I'm gonna be nice. Obviously, it was. I have the highest respect for all of these athletes in this match. I felt professionally, in terms of being professional and unbiased, I wanted to see the Street Profits lose their titles, and they kept them because of fuckery. Again, because of somebody being knocked off of the fucking apron. We saw that spot almost 3 times tonight. We saw it.
It was 3 times, yeah.
Exactly. Yep. So for me, it's like we're just gonna give screwy finishes, and it's like Garza looked like a complete jackass. There was no protecting Garza because Garza looked like a complete jackass. Andrade was just like, huh? Like, I'm going to worry about her on the floor. Charlotte wasn't there. I didn't understand. Ric Flair wasn't having a heart attack. One of Charlotte Flair's breast implants didn't pop. Why was Andrade so focused on Zelina, whose husband is coming back apparently tomorrow to be on the Kevin Owens show? Why were you so concerned with her? She literally online called you a good friend. You know what I mean? She called you a good friend. Like, literally. She said, he's a really good friend.
Yeah.
I don't go and show. I'm sorry. I love my female friends. I love you guys. If any of you are watching, I love you. If you fall off an apron, you just fell off an apron. If I'm in championship map, your ass just fell off an apron. I'm sorry. I'm gonna win my belt and I'm gonna see about you. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I think the finish. I was expecting the Street Profits to drop these titles again because, again, I was to the earlier point, like, the Street Profits are over. They don't need the belts. Andrade and Garza need the belts to get over. But if your priority is to get Angel versus Andrade, then I guess you're not going to put the titles on them, right? You want to get them battling quick. And I don't know if it's this quick to be like happening on Sunday at Payback, but that's going to be interesting for tomorrow night to see if we get to see that match on Sunday. I think that's the priority for WWE right now, is to get an Angel and Andrade to match up and fight instead of putting the belts on them. But we're gonna see.
I think obviously you're running the same storyline with Sasha Banks and Bayley as you're running with Andrade and Angel Garza, and it sucks because I think you should drop the story with one and then hold it with somebody else. You know what I mean? But we'll see. We'll see what happens. He was concerned because of his manager. If any other girl fell off the apron, he wouldn't care. His manager fell. Thank you, Jason Clark, for that insight. I wouldn't care if my manager fell. It's like if Brock Lesnar's in a match and Paul falls off the apron, Paul just fell. I'm going to suplex you anyway. I'm going to see about Paul later.
This is
true. What I mean? Let's just be honest. If you manage,
but Paul,
you manage.
Paul is a beefy dude. Zelina is a small little thing of a woman. Like, I can see where Andrade takes care of her, but Angel didn't give a shit. Like, Angel was just like, yo, let's keep going to this match. So
I'm sorry. Angel looks stupid. Let's just be honest. Let's just say the 3 obvious things that we have here. Angel looked like a jackass. 1, he was unconcerned with his manager, as you said. 2, he was reckless with how he put her in danger in the first place. And then 3, the Street Profits took advantage of a situation where obviously we had Montez Ford, who is always drunk or high or whatever he is when it comes to the ring, talk about all the smoke, and he gets drugged. And to me, you didn't show any signs of him being drugged or drunk or anything. Like, wasn't there any symptoms of that? No, they just won a match and clean and they walked out. Like, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't hate them, but I hate them just a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't hate them completely. I'm just saying, just a little bit.
I'm just tired of it. Like I feel like it's that whereas like I felt like the Sasha Bailey stuff is a long draw, a long story. This one I just need it to be over. I need Andrade and Angel to just fight and get it over with, and let's move on to the next thing.
Exactly.
But we'll see. I thought they were really going to win these titles tonight. And like I said, I started out 0-2, 0-3, so this is one of them. So let's see here. Street Profits.
I think we went through the entire card. I think we were
there
done.
was just pretty much. Where there's just one more match, and that's the match that I even forgot about because it was on the pre-show, and that was MVP versus Apollo for the U.S. title. Apollo beat MVP with a toss powerbomb. So Apollo is still your United States. Look at that title, man. That title. You can't tell me that title looks like shit because that title looks way upgraded.
It's an upgrade, but the champion that's holding it right now, I feel like if you said this earlier, and we're going to continue going back to this point, sometimes it's the championship that makes the man. The championship is making Apollo right now, which is great. MVP needs that title to get his little stable over, and they keep losing bets at this point. You know what I mean? They keep losing matches, they keep losing belts, and it's just getting embarrassing. MVP shaved, and he came out here looking like beefed up Barack Obama, and it's just like it didn't work. He failed. He failed royally, and it was just like, come on. Like I sat through a pre-show. The best thing on that pre-show, and I will say the biggest thing on that pre-show was Renee Young saying she was leaving WWE tonight. So shout out to Renee Young for years and years of amazing work in the WWE. But that was a highlight of the pre-show because obviously the low light or the dimmed light was the Apollo Crews versus MVP match. I hated it. I feel like it was a waste of time. I feel like we could have had that match on Raw. We could have had that match tomorrow.
We did have that match on Raw.
We had that match last week on Raw, right? Like we had that.
That's
match
right, like 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
We could have had that match tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, and we probably will get it again tomorrow. I don't know.
Run that back, Apollo, because the lights were flickering again.
You know what it was? You know what it is MVP's role is to put these guys over, to put Lashley over, to put Apollo over, and he's doing a great job. Like he is the new incarnation of Paul Heyman, and he's doing a bang-up job. I like the Hurt Business. I'm excited when I see them.
Did you hear the new music? Did you hear the new theme music?
No, I haven't heard that yet.
MVP got new theme music because he had "I'm Coming," and then like his theme was "I'm Coming," and then like tonight it changed. He had the Hurt Business shirts on. They had the new, obviously the Thunderdome gets people new merch, so they got new merch. They got everybody got new merch. Exactly, everybody got new merch. Shit, I'm buying.
I heard Roman's shirt. I heard it just sold. It's sold out already.
Really?
Yeah, I was just seeing on social media before we went on, and somebody was like, "It's sold out."
If that shit sold out, then that was deserving. Like, obviously, like hit that, wreck everybody and leave. If that's his new thing, let's do it. Like that shirt says exactly what he did. But getting back to MVP, knew everything, cleaned up. I look like the former president with beefed up like Obama was in the gym doing freaking 2-a-days every day during quarantine. It's just, I expected him to walk out with the championship at least.
No, that's not his. That's not his role.
I'm gonna put you over. I'm gonna just.
That's his job. He's gonna put everybody over.
I'm gonna put Apollo over.
He's there to put Apollo over.
I'm gonna put Apollo over and then tell Ricochet and them to stay in catering because that's all the career will ever be. Stay in catering.
But I wouldn't be surprised at that. Then he puts over Ricochet. He puts over. I think Cedric is gonna turn. I see that coming.
Cedric needs to
turn. And I see Cedric going after Ricochet and them having a bang up matchup.
They need to.
But we need serious people. We need like Ricochet smiling and y'all dog this. Nah, bullshit. Like
we need
a couple. Yes.
We need Prince Puma.
Yes.
That's the Ricochet what we need. That's the Ricochet that would get into a match. So it's like, yo, this is a serious match. I'm not coming here to fuck around. I'm not coming with a big smile on my face. I'm not coming trying to be Gotham Knight in my nightwing costume that sticks to my body.
No, I need to be pissed off. When I lose, I need to be pissed off. Yeah, exactly. That's you feel me.
Don't even let me get into Ali. I love Ali, but Ali just comes, smiles, loses matches, goes back to main event. It's saddening.
No, it is.
My brother,
it's unfortunate.
My brother. Come on, my brother. Come on. 054 was such a great move. And now it's just you're relegated to catering with the rest of your friends and main event on days that we don't know when main event comes on. Anyway.
I know. It's just unfortunate. So that was pretty much SummerSlam all in total. So before we get into the news, I'm just going to do one final plug because Dylan and Ricky are really hounding me to plug this. So I'm going to plug this. So before I go into that, you guys are watching Unpopular Review powered by Yep, I Like Wrestling. I am Big Daddy Cool. This is Stefan, and we just wrapped up covering SummerSlam, all the big results, all the surprises, all the stuff you never saw coming that just came at you, all up in your face, just all over in your eyes and stuff.
Right there, like Sasha Banks makeup. Right here.
There you go. Exactly. So please like, love, share this feed, this broadcast with all your friends, all your wrestling fans, all your wrestling buddies, all your wrestling groups. Yeah, please leave a like, please leave a heart, please leave a share, please leave, if you're on YouTube, hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you. There you go. That way I don't have to edit. I wish I knew how to edit video, but I can't. So yeah, guys, so that's us, Unpopular Review. Please visit us all over our social media right here so you can get more wrestling content and entertainment content. This coming Tuesday is Unpopular Review Strike. It used to be called 2K19 Battle League, but they changed the name of it. But that's neither here nor there. That's on Tuesday. But coming up, the host or the GM of the Strike 2K19 League, Ricky, is going to be in a promo battle. Every once in a while, we do promo battles here on Unpopular Review. And he's challenged one of our fellow hosts, Dylan, who hosts the Friday SmackDown show. So here are two promos from Dylan and from Ricky. I'm going to play Ricky's first. And yeah, this is the upcoming promo battle.
Oh, hi there, Dylan. Hi there, Instigator. It is, of course, Ricky Goldman. Now, you're the king of promos. You're the host. You're the man. You're Matt Riddle's friend. Well, all of that is great, but none of that is going to stop me from beating you and defeating you. The date has changed, because I wanted it to change, to give you extra time to prepare. Because come September 12th, I'm going to put on a show for all these losers, for all these peasants that are below me. Come September 12th, I walk out the winner, you walk out the loser. Come September 12th, I'm going to fuck you up.
There you have it. You got Ricky dropping a promo on Dylan. This is probably going to happen in the first week of September. We're going to have this promo battle. Dylan saw this promo from Ricky, and he cut a promo of his own. Here is Dylan's promo battling Ricky back.
Hopefully rain doesn't.
You look at that, I think. Oh, you're now quiet.
Ricky, you son of a bitch. You talk about how you should win promo battles, how you're going to beat me, and I'm not going to win any promo battles. Well, listen to this, Ricky. You don't have one fucking win. You lost to Anthony fucking Chabot, and you would have lost to Jeffrey. And let me tell you this, Ricky. You claim you're not The Rock's bitch, but you're busy sticking his microphone, his little rubber plastic microphone, right up your ass. And let me tell you something, Ricky, that's the least of your worries. Because when I come for you, I'm not going to stick a fucking microphone up your ass. I'm going to take this lightsaber and shove it straight up your candy ass and out your mouth because I'm going to win this fucking promo battle, and you goddamn well know it.
Lots to discuss there. Lots to discuss. Both of them very fiery individuals.
Did somebody just? I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but somebody just spoke about sodomizing somebody else in his promo. I don't want to be the guy that points that out, but I mean, violence much? Are we condoning that in UPR now? I mean, I
don't know. I don't know. It's a lot of. Dylan is very feisty. He challenges everybody.
He's intense. It's just they. All right.
Did I just hear one of your friends say that shit is terrible?
Yes, that's. All right. I'll be honest. I don't think he's talking about Dylan's promo. He's talking about this other guy's promo. Obviously, the general manager's promo. I agree with Ricky's promo that he has the right microphone shoved so far up his ass that he thinks that he's The Rock. It's funny. It's great. It's great stuff. It's great stuff, Dylan. Great job, Dylan. The general manager really needs to learn how to be himself. But unfortunately, he can't. And I only wish that I could judge said promo contest so I could be a part of what's going to happen. Because obviously, this is not even a prediction. It's more of a spoiler. What Dylan just did was completely castrate the general manager and make him his bitch in one promo. I'm sorry. He rode in.
I don't know. There was obviously
there was
very
so many layers to that promo. He rode in. Chris, Matt Riddle, somebody tossed him a lightsaber and he went off.
Yeah, I don't understand why there was a lightsaber. He's not a Jedi. I had a lot of questions about Dylan's promo, but
he was a Jedi. He was a Jedi. He Jedi mind fucked freaking this guy because he had a clear fucking winner with the promo, and it was Dylan. Dylan came in, he rode in, he was like on his stallion. He's like, pass me my sword so I can slay this peasant and go on about my day.
But here, like, I don't understand. Like, if you watch Dylan's promo, like, Dylan's got a bunch of mud on his back. Like, did he fall off the ATV? Like, how many times did he cut this promo?
Ricky Goldman was wearing a Hall of Fame ring that he could never hope to win in his entire life. What's the difference?
Was it really a Hall of Fame ring, or was it a high school ring?
It was a Hall of Fame high school ring. It was a knockoff ring. George said if I had to judge them both, Dylan Kaplan just beat him. Obviously, I know we can see that, George. I know you see everything, George. But it's like, come on. Like, Dylan just, I'm sorry. I'm not the promo guy. Matt Riddle is. He judges promos and stuff. But he just bodied him. Even before the promo contest. You just got bodied. I'm sorry.
Charmaine says that she is the innovator of sodomy. She's the innovator.
Charmaine, you shouldn't be proud of that.
That's right. She's the innovator of that. But yeah, so that's that. So coming up, probably in a couple weeks, we're gonna have send me the link so I can talk about my promo. Yeah, no, I'm not. This is not. We're trying to wrap up here, Dylan. I'm sorry. Dylan wants me to send him a link about the promo. No, I'm not.
Bro,
I'm trying to wrap up. It's almost at 2 hours
salute
here.
Salute to you, bro, because what you just did on your stallion of your lawnmower was to destroy your opponent even before the battle starts. And I was, man, I'm from one guy who cut a promo in front of Matt Riddle to a guy who's probably cut promos in his bathroom or something. I mean, that was great, bro. I really appreciate that. That was.
Yeah.
If mine was a 10, yours was at least a solid 2.5. I'll give it to you, Dylan. 2.5 is really good. It's really good.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro.
Speaking of ratings, let's close out by asking what ratings, since we already talked about Keith Lee and Karrion Kross, and Karrion Kross did hurt his right shoulder, as they reported last night on the NXT show. If you look at pictures of him holding up the belt with his left hand, you can look at his right, and like there's like a U-shaped indentation into his shoulder. It's real nasty. I was looking for it, but I didn't put it up. So guys, George says you got to learn how to cut a promo.
Is he referring to me or you? Who is he
rating?
referring to? George,
think
it's
he
really
was
simple. I
talking
can make
to-
you crawl back into that hole that you crawled
No,
out.
I think he was talking about both of them.
George,
what rating?
Jesus Christ! I'm gonna
Nobody
get kicked
around
off of
here.
UPR again for you. I'm not doing
Yeah,
it.
no, nobody can cut a promo around here. What without threatening to shove something up somebody's ass. What do you give SummerSlam as a rating tonight?
Oh shit! SummerSlam because Patrick won. F for fucking failure. Just
Oh no! Come on.
I am tight. I'm sorry. All right, I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna give it a B because it got us to tomorrow's episode of Raw. So I'm gonna give it a B because it pushed storylines forward. Obviously, Dominic is gonna go up against Seth again. We're gonna see Bailey or at least Sasha running back with Asuka. So we're gonna see feuds continue. Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton definitely are gonna run it back. So it put us in position for this Raw and then possibly the pay-per-view next Sunday. So I mean, I like it.
Yeah, I want to give it a B as well. George says he wants to give a B.
A B for Bath. A B for Bath.
I thought it was a really good show. I like the way that they piped in a bunch of. I'm gonna ignore you. The
you know that shit was funny. You better laugh. Shit, give him my laugh.
I like that they piped in a bunch of fake cheering. It sounded like it was coming from the audience, but that's bullshit. Like there was no way that. But I liked it. I liked it. You could not time that. Like the lagging and the freezing of the video. Like you see every face freeze for a while.
Exactly.
I'm sure that they do some sort of like, chiming in of some real audio, but most of that was like fake. Especially there was like some clapping going on. Like there was like a clap, like a timed clap or something like that. And I'm like, yo, nobody's fucking clapping on the screen. Where did you get all this massive clapping? Charmaine says she gives it a B. I want to see Big Daddy Cool versus El Lobo Solo in a Pro Bowl battle. Hey, sometimes you can wish to your heart's content, and sometimes you're not going to get what you want. So that happens. Hey, ho, ho, Elvis, gotta go. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much the show. Stefan, we got anything else to cover? I can't hear you, Steph. Something happened with your audio. I think we left him speechless. There we go. I hear you now, buddy.
Shit, the goddamn lightsaber got to my headphones. It cut my headphones in half. Thank you, fucking Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan's part of Retribution. He's hijacking our show.
Literally part of Retribution. This man slid in on a freaking lawnmower supreme and freaking sliced that dude up.
Yeah. I feel like you want me to play it again.
I need you to play it again. I need you to play it one more time.
One more time? All right, one more time.
To play us out. Just play us out with that.
We're going to play you out with that. All right, no problem. So let's hype up these other shows coming up. So tomorrow night, we've got Monday Night Raw Results Edition. Will we see Retribution? Will we see more people show up? What happens with Drew, Randy Orton, Street Profits, yada, yada, yada. Tomorrow night, let's talk about it. We'll be here again live after Raw ends. It's going to be me and Katrina talking about Monday Night Raw. On Wednesday, it's the NXT and AEW Results Show. We're going to talk about both NXT and AEW. Is AEW back on Wednesday night, or is it still on Saturday?
It's Thursday. No, it's on Thursday this week. AEW switched to Thursday, so you're going to have NXT this Wednesday and possibly AEW on Thursday.
Thank you. I'm glad you know that because I for certain didn't know that. And then SmackDown. SmackDown is Friday night, so we're going to talk about SmackDown. We need to update that graphic to add the Fiend.
Fucking add
And
Roman Reigns. Add Roman Reigns. Just
Oh,
put
that's
Roman
right.
Reigns there. Wreck everyone and leave. That's it.
Wreck
That's the
everyone
only
and
picture
leave.
you need.
No doubt. You're probably right. I'll see if I can set that up. And that's pretty much it. Here's a picture of the viewing party tonight. Here we got Dylan in the middle looking like a schoolboy. So
after
excited.
Murdering somebody with his promo.
I know. We got Chris there. This was the viewing party with Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle is a friend of the show. We got Chris, David, we got Jay in the background. I believe the gentleman to Dylan's left is Nico. Is this an actual woman in the picture?
Matt's wife. That's Matt's wife.
Oh, look at that. See, at least somebody's getting laid in this group because we know certainly nobody else is.
Jesus Christ.
There you go. So that's pretty much it, guys. And that's it. I think we've said it all. Is there anything else left to say?
So long and good night from us
That's
here
right.
on Unpopular Reviews.
Thank you very much. We're going to leave you with Dylan's promo one last time by Steph's demand because he wants to see this. Do you want to see the same one or do you want to see the one where he was talking to a chicken?
I'm curious about the chickens. Let's go.
All right, I'm gonna leave you with the one with the chicken. All right, guys, thanks for watching. This is Unpopular Review for Steph. I'm Big Daddy Cool, and we'll see you tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw. See you later, guys.
See you guys.
Ricky, you talk about how you're the best at promos, how you would have won the whole UPR promo battle championship. Well, let me tell you something, Ricky. The only reason you're 1-1 is because that one win came from you beating Elvis, a man with no internet, who could not make it to the promo battle. Then you talk about, oh, I should have beat Anthony Chabot. Well, let me tell you this. Anthony Chabot beat your candy ass. And when you go one-on-one with the king, you know deep down you're going to lose. You know not only are you going to get the ass whooping you deserve, you're going to get humiliated. And Ricky, I know deep down you claim you're not the Rock's bitch, but we know you're the Rock's bitch. And I wouldn't be surprised if before this promo battle happens, you back out like the chicken that you are. I like that.
You heard that in the back, so I like that. Oh, shit. Good night, everybody. So long. That's it. I'm going home. I'm going to sleep on that note. Jesus Christ. That's it.
That's all she wrote. Me and Steph, we're jumping in the hot tub. See you later, guys.
See you later, guys.
Where is this thing? There we go. Outro. Good night, everybody.